Whoever comes, I'll kill them. I'll kill them all.
Of course you will.
I'm Virgil.
And I'm Kevin.
And this is Recreational Thinking Productions movie review of
John Wick, Chapter 2.
Starring Keanu Reeves returning as John Wick. Also Ian McShane returning as Winston, the leader of the Continental in New York. Newcomers Common as Cassian and Lawrence Fishburne as the Bowery King.
John Wick, Chapter 2 takes place 5 days after the events of John Wick. Here we find John is being contacted by a shadowy figure from his past by the name of Santino, who we learn John owes a debt to. The rest of the movie is how that unfolds.
So what did you end up thinking about it?
It's going to be hard not to give a biased answer here. I loved the first movie. I went in with high expectations. I was not disappointed. This movie was everything I had hoped for, everything I wanted in a John Wick sequel. The fight scenes were great. The shooting, the choreography, everything was fantastic. Even the splatter from the headshots,
Dome
that there were
shots.
so
All
many
those dome
headshots.
shots.
It was just great. I can't stress that enough. I just want to say fight scenes, fight scenes, fight scenes. It was so good. There's a scene in there where they go see an artsy type thing. I won't go into any more detail. That was beautiful. Even with the death and carnage happening, it was awesome. It was very stunning. Lighting was great. It is very visually stimulating. Part of the movie, part of the film. And the characters, it had really good characters. We saw some great performances from people from the first movie that they brought back. I won't spoil who's back, who's in it. Some you may already know from the trailers. They did great. The new characters were awesome. They brought in Lawrence Fishburne to play a character. I wish there was more of him, but I expect a lot from him in the third movie. What was your overall thoughts on it?
I agree with pretty much almost everything you said. I mean, it built on the first one. Really importantly, because in the first one, because the first one came out of nowhere. No one expected the movie. There wasn't a lot of fanfare for the movie. There wasn't a lot of press until a month, like 6 weeks before the first movie came out in October 2014. They suddenly dropped a trailer. 6 weeks. Suddenly dropped a trailer. Next thing you know, everyone's talking about what the hell is John Wick. Everyone goes to see it. Everyone loses their damn minds. Keanu Reeves is back. Keanu Reeves is back. Then he goes and makes a horrible, very horrible horror movie with Eli Roth, but you know, we all make mistakes. Action, on par. These are the same guys, the guy who directed this film, who helped with the stunt choreography of the Hitman films, and while those films overall are not very good, you can't argue with the stunts. And it shows that the guy who's directing this movie knows how to do action, because they're on par. There's no shaky cam or anything. That's the thing I ultimately hate. Shaky cam and quick cuts in the action that just is there obviously hide a terrible action scene or to create drama. Not there at all. Also, wanted to highlight one great thing about it. There's a particular fight scene between Common and Keanu Reeves, and I won't tell you why they end up getting into a fight. That fight scene was long, but it wasn't boring.
No.
I mean, it started it started in one area, and they basically fight through the streets of Rome and wind up at the Italian Continental. That whole sequence, it's a long sequence, but damn, it's a damn good sequence. It doesn't get boring at all. And going on that, mentioning the Continental in Rome, they built on the world that they established in the first John Wick. You find out in this movie that a lot of countries have their own continentals, and they're sort of set up like kingdoms. This is probably one of the best comic movies ever made, not based on a comic book. So what did you dislike about it, if you have any dislikes at all?
Well, here, I'll tell you my dislikes. And that's what I disliked about the movie. What did you dislike?
There's only one little thing in it that I disliked, and I don't even like calling it a dislike. It wasn't annoying or irritating. There was just one little part of the movie that was brief where it dragged just a little bit. One little action scene just went on a little too long, like the dome shots and everything got a little, you're okay, can we stop now? But that's just one little moment, and that's it. So after all that, I think I know where you're going, but what's your overall opinion of the movie, and what's your final rating?
Well, considering the movie took every expectation I had and blew it out of the water, if there's such a thing as a perfect movie, this would be very close to it. It gets a Matt Damon.
And I will agree with you. It's probably one of the best action films in a while. This is a great example of what happens when you let a filmmaker do what they're good at. But this is clearly made by people who love those old 70s action films where they focused on shitty characters and because, let's face it, John Wick, we love him, but he's a shitty human being.
He is a bad guy, but you root for him.
Yeah. Because
Everywhere.
he's the least shitty in a room of shitty people. But my final rating is a Matt Damon. So, you need to go watch this movie.
Go watch the movie.
And if you like what we're doing, you can like, subscribe, and ding the bell so you'll get a notification whenever we drop a new video.
Till next time.
Bye-bye. And I feel like I need to do that so we're on an even keel. Are you sure?
That's not like I'm Tom Cruise.
That'd be more like this.
It's like, go watch this movie, hit that like button, ring that bell, subscribe, see the movie, see the movie, see the movie.